Prius has gone from a punchline to a franchise faster than you can say $4 a gallon gasoline. The first thing I noticed about the 2012 Prius C was that it had a gated shifter instead of the joystick and push-button configuration on some other Toyota hybrids. In my opinion, the gated shifter is a huge safety advantage. Actually being able to look down at the shifter and know what gear I'm in is only one of the advantages. Being able to knock the car into neutral if the floor mats get tangled in the pedals or for some reason the car gets away from me is another advantage. On other versions of the Prius, you practically had to hit Ctrl-Alt-Delete to get the car into neutral. The Barbie Prius, or Prius C as it's formerly known, is the runt of the litter, but it also manages to squeeze the most pavement out of a pint of petrol. 53 miles per gallon in the city and 46 on the highway. While the Prius C is smaller than the regular Prius, it never felt claustrophobic. The seats were comfortable, but the ride was seemingly designed by a dentist who wants me to get rid of that last mercury filling. The price tag on the new Prius C seemed to open up the brand to a larger demographic. Read that as people who want a hybrid but think that the regular Prius is too expensive. Our Prius C started at $21,635. Something I noticed seriously lacking on this model was automatic headlights, which I thought were on almost every modern car. I'd rather give back Toyota's infotainment system called Entune, which includes OpenTable, Sport Scores, and basically everything in Pandora's box to know that I will never leave my headlights on and come back to a dead battery, or forget to turn them on when leaving a brightly lit parking garage at night and have it brought to my attention by the flashing red lights behind me or the suicidal Bambi in front of me. Speaking of visibility, I had some issues on the highway. Now, everybody's seating position is different, and that means what's a blind spot for me may not be a blind spot for you. While we're on the topic of blind spots, I always tell people that one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make when test driving a car is that they don't park it during their test drive. If you don't like the way your new car parks, you're going to hate it. So on your test drive, make sure to pull into and out of a few parking spaces to make sure you're comfortable with your sight lines. The Prius C generates a combined 98 horsepower and will get you from 0 to 60 in a little over 11 seconds, according to Edmunds Inside Line. Car and Driver said the transmission of the Prius C seemed to be programmed to resist forward motion. Now, I didn't find it as painfully slow as other reviewers, but I do have some complaints. The steering wheel feels cheap. Too bad Toyota didn't test drive the Mazda 3 before buying their wheel from Fisher-Price. I don't think it's too easy to buy an aftermarket wheel with an airbag and all the remote buttons that come with the Prius C. The only alternative is to either hope the folks from Toyota take pity on people who actually keep both hands on the wheel, or hope for the fashionable return of driving gloves for men and long white Jackie Kennedy Tea Party gloves for women. The gas tank holds only slightly more than a hip flask at 9.5 gallons. Official specs say the car will get you 437 miles on a full tank. With such amazing mileage, I wouldn't mind a few extra gallons of capacity for a few less trips to the gas station. The base price for the 2012 Prius C3 was $21,635. Carpeted floor mats, a cargo net, and a $760 destination charge brought the total price of our test vehicle up to a little under $23,000. I'm Grant Winter reporting for Real World Test Drive.